anybody if I use those words. I'm using very old-fashioned words. Oh, I was right about the 6th of January. Ended up being the day. And I feel it went well. Please tell me it went well, because I feel your person worded up the uptight. Oh, thank you, Charlie. And thank Gus. Being trusted to do a reading is a blessing. I feel like it did go well because your person was wording the uptight one up. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They want to see you again. Of course they do. But I feel your person did groundwork there. And the uptight person was even polite. So, yes. And I do get that you are happy with your proposal. So, and I get that your proposal is good. It's not that you just feel it's good. I get that it is good. Yeah. And I do feel that the reason your person, your Aries, worded them up was because they're closed-minded. If something came up and they decided, no, I don't like that, they would have been totally shut off. I get that it's on a roll. And I feel like, yeah, you're going to be ecstatic with it. You may even hand it in early. And welcome in, Phantom Punk. Haven't seen you for ages. Happy 2024. Excellent. You understood 60% of what they were saying. Look, I learnt to speak Turkish, and the friend that taught me, I met their partner and their partner's friends, and I knew when their partner stood up for me. So it's not due February 14th, is it, by any chance, Coogie Duo? Yeah, merhaba to all those Turkish people in the viewers, if there is any. But the friend that taught me, I met her partner, and her partner's friends, they were going out. We were having our girls' night out. He was having his guys' night out. And I knew when the partner, not due on Valentine's Day, first week of Feb though. Okay, I can live with that. Okay. Can you understand a Scorpio energy being in, surrounding your get-together? There was a Scorpio energy involved there. You're not sure? I feel it's the uptight one. I'm not uptight. I'm a Scorpio. Being uptight or closed-minded is a social condition. It's not a star sign condition. Okay? No, I can't change it, Coogie Duo. It could be the Mars energy coming through, because I've got the Emperor coming up. So I do know that your person is Aries, and that has Mars energy. But can you understand your partner mentioning something and it clicked in your mind that you needed to include it in the proposal? And I do need to move the cards back over. I've decided I've got to start following the line of the crystals. Okay, I feel your partner's supportive and you were surprised that they were listening so well. There you go. But you were surprised that they were listening so well, because I feel like yeah. Ooh la la. I feel like your person's planning a weekend away. I feel there's exhaustion in doing what is necessary. And it's exhausted you both. Yes, it is the Ace of Wands, followed by the Knight of Cups, followed by the Nine of Wands. 3 days in Quebec City. Ha! It's going to be an ooh la la moment. It's going to be, because there's an energy from both of you where everything's gone into what is necessary. So you know how we prioritize everything, particularly over the holidays. We're always prioritizing, okay, what do we need to do? And quite often the intimacy gets a little wayward. Oh, ooh la la was okay. I can accept that. Is it you or your person that's into corsets? I have to say this, it is an adult stream, by the way. Okay, I feel you're going to bring him out. It's going to shock your person, if that makes sense. But in a good way. Yeah, I do too. So I haven't worn one on stream, but you know me, I'm conservative when I'm on stream. But I feel it will shock your person in a good way. And I feel you know the one I mean. I'm not going to get too intimate here. Yeah, you know the one I mean exactly. There's one that's a little looser at the top. Blue Moss Dragonette, welcome in. There you go. You're going to do it in Quebec. Quebec. Did I say it right? Yeah, very loose at the top. There you go. I'm trying to be discreet here, Corgi Duo, but my guides let me have a little bit of fun. You've been reluctant, but I feel that it's going to Quebec. There we go. Je ne sais quoi. Or they say that differently in Canada. I know that. Je ne sais quoi is je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas. Anyway. Well, you were buying it on Amazon. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. You're fearful it may shock your person and bring up an unfavorable discussion. I get that's an inner fear. Your person may drop their jaw, but in a good way. Okay. Yeah. They'll drop their jaw, but in a good way. You're fearing that it'll bring up a discussion that you've had, you thought was done and dusted. Stop fearing it. Yeah. And there's been a boost to your person's income, and they've shared it. And there's a little discomfort there. There's a little bit of, this is a bit serious. Can you understand that, Corgi Duo? A boost to your partner's income. They've shared it. And there's a little bit of discomfort about, does this mean it's ultra serious? There you go. There's going to be a boost. There is going to be a boost. And try not to read anything into it if it gets shared. I'm glad that's for you. And as I said, yeah, but as I said, the tables, in terms of who earns more, the tables can quickly turn, and all of a sudden you could be, I've been through that situation where I was always the person that earned the most, and it can quickly turn. And no, my guides don't let me know about bad stuff. Only because I told them I don't want to see it. So, I don't want to see the bad stuff. It's going to happen anyway. If I can't change it, why show it to me? But I hope you get your Amazon delivery very soon, Corgi Duo. It's going to pay for itself over and over and over again. And yes, I do have to... Blue Moss Dragonette's reminded me I'm way behind in my shout-outs. So, way behind in my shout-outs. And Blue Moss Dragonette will be one of them. And, okay, an oracle. We have Law of Positivism, Vintage Wisdom, or Sign of the Times. Oh, you have it in your drawers already and you're bracing yourself. Law of Positivism. Oh, the Law of Positivism actually has a really long explanation per card. So this is the second time this has come out. And I was saying that it had a card blessing inside the box. So, yes, fascinating indeed. And they're also... they're pretty pictures. It's not one I would have picked for myself. But as you know, somebody nice bought this one for me. Somebody who follows me on Twitch only... they never go on Twitch. But they're following me. They're a personal friend of mine. And they bought it for me. Today is the time. Yeah, I said I'd make it my 2024 deck. because they told me it was coming because they ordered it and had it delivered, and they had it delivered directly to my house. So it was awesome of them, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if that card comes up, because I see prayers being answered, or a card related to prayers being answered, and hard work being rewarded. Okay, so we'll see. And they are awesome cards too. I always say when they're awesome cards, because so many of the cards now are being made to poor standards. And Blue Moss Dragonette, you do the cards, so no, they're actually smaller than Vintage Wisdom. So as you can see, my hands do hold them quite well. They're about the same size as Sign of the Times. So oops. No. Come on, guides. Yeah, too many decks now are being made at poor quality. And yeah, they do have a really good feel. And they are really well made. Like, I bought my original deck 37 years ago now. My original Rider-Waite. 37 years ago. And that's still going. A lot of Temu decks go. No, I buy direct from the artist, because I feel like the artwork is what gives me my inspiration. Yeah, I like the original cards. And I should really do a deck of my own. I should really do a tarot deck of my own. There you go. You don't support them unless the artist is passed. I do feel like the artwork deserves credibility. But I prefer, you say they've got a nice soft sound. You've got to let me try it out, Coogie Duo. They've got a nice soft sound, but they're really well made. And there we go. I forgive and release the past in order to heal my life. There's the element of fire in this card. There's the element of the moon being eclipsed by the sun, or the earth being eclipsed by the sun or moon. There's diamonds. There's like fingers crossed. There's a lot of metamorphosis going on here. There you go, Momo. It's worth the extra to get the original. All of my decks are original. Yeah, they say they come with handbooks or a QR code. And the QR code is it's a hacker's version. Yeah. I'm with the original. If the artist puts in the work, the artist deserves. And here in Australia, I think it's in America too, and Canada, Hay House. It's a publishing group. Quite often Hay House can release some of the decks into major stores. So keep an eye out for that. And look, I opened it again. This is the second time I've used this deck, and I've opened it straight to the card I'm reading. Yeah, it really But there's a transformation happening, Corgi Duo, and I feel like for you, you've done something different with your hair. You've started to let people see. There you go, Momo. That's sometimes the publishers do release them to stores. You cut your hair 2 weeks ago. I feel it's very different, Corgi Duo. But this card says, forgiveness is the internal process of unconditional acceptance, compassion, and release. When we understand that, we have to accept all of life, its blessings and lessons, to fully walk our own path. We release the need to hold on to the past. Forgiveness is the way to liberation and unconditional love and acceptance. And this is me here, so I'm going to put the book down for a bit. To me, forgiveness isn't about accepting that other people have wronged us. Forgiveness is us letting go of it for ourselves. It's us letting go of it or putting it on the karma bus for our own sanity. No one else's. We're not forgiving bad behavior. We're not allowing bad behavior. What we're doing is saying, I release you because nothing you've done is going to dictate my future. And that's where forgiveness comes from. Nothing you've done is going to dictate my future. So in forgiving, we do it for ourselves. I just thought I'd clarify that. What you are holding on to, what are you holding on to that is keeping you in the past? Is it a place, situation, event, memory, or person? Is it something that has been happening within or outside of you? These questions are essential to contemplate if you are dedicated to healing your life and all of its layers. It is vital for the present moment and the future that you consciously let past experiences that haven't served you or even hurt you come to the surface so you can observe them. This can bring back uncomfortable memories, but it is better to be consciously aware of them than to suppress them. When you do so, they cause imbalance, not only energetically, but also emotionally, physically, and mentally. Tap into your heart and that unconditional forgiveness to take a giant leap in your healing. You know what the card's all about. I'm glad you do, because I feel like it's a burn. I got burnt. I trusted and I got burnt. As I said, there's fire in the card. I know my camera's probably not picking it up very clearly because of the sunshine coming in, but there is fire at the top of the card. Practice to release forgiveness. Sit in stillness in meditation and ask yourself, what am I holding on to? And what needs forgiveness? How can I forgive myself and others? Because forgiveness can sometimes be things we've done. I know I've done things in my past I'm not proud of. But in order to move forward with life, I had to let it go. Keeping a journal on things that are coming up right now and our reactions to them. This is what you need to focus on with your healing. Write down, I forgive, and continue with what you are forgiving and releasing right now. There's hope. The symbols of this card are hope. So I get that you're releasing something, and I feel hope and trust are finally coming forward. Yeah, we all definitely owe ourselves some meditation time. Seriously, we do. We all owe ourselves that meditation time. But hopefully that resonated for you, Corgi Duo. But with the diamond in the person's back and the butterflies releasing around it, I get coming success as well. So this is in preparation for trusting that your success is there. You have 2 cards in your deck. 1 moon, 1 sun. And they're sort of connected in your deck. There you go. As a journal prompt. Yeah, I forgive, and whatever it is you're forgiving. But I tend not to be that rigid with myself. I acknowledge that, okay, there are situations we go through, some of which don't fall on our shoulders at all. We should not be bearing them at all. I can release those quite freely. But in situations where I've acted inappropriately, they're the ones I find hardest to release. I eventually get to a point where I release them because my future should not depend on them. And eventually I do release it. But they're the ones I need to work on. So I acknowledge can also be a powerful journal starter. Yeah, it is hard to own up to the contribution you've made in certain situations. But again, I repeat, there are some things that happen that should never fall on an individual's shoulders. The Me Too movement springs to mind. There is a person at fault, not the individual it happened to. So those need letting go straight away. It's like, I had no contribution whatsoever in that circumstance. I forgive myself that for myself. I do it for myself and let it go. But other situations, it could be interactions we have where we may not have handled it the best. So we look at, well, how could I have handled it better? If it happens again, am I going to act differently? And if the answer is yes, then forgive yourself. You made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. So just keep that in mind. So hopefully that resonated for you, Corgi Duo. And yes, we should restart the Me Too hashtag. Because I found out some interesting things. Alyssa Milano, an actor from the original Charmed, was the one that promoted or first promoted the Me Too hashtag. And made sure that it got out there. And I did not know that. And I learned something. So we learn every day we live. We learn. You're going to have fun, Corgi Duo. I know that. You're going to have fun. Okay, full pause. You are up. Thank you for the hydrate. I'm going straight to my coffee. Oh, happy birthday for last Sunday. 25. You're still more than half my age. Still more than half my age. Oh, Corgi Duo, thank you for the biddies. Mwah. You have a great evening or day. It's late, so have a great evening. And yes, happy birthday, Sailor. And just remember, you're still over half my age. You've got everything in front of you. Okay, now, let's see. I'll see you, Corgi Duo. Yeah, if you buy original, they are bigger cards. So, there you go. Okay, now I have to scroll back. 4 paws. No, 4 paws isn't in the chat. So if I could get somebody else to have a look in the viewers and make sure 4 paws isn't there. I'll put up the list so we know who's next anyway. Okay, it's Misery Pimp next. They aren't there. Then it's your turn, Misery Pimp. Yeah, everybody's been waiting a while. Thank you, Momo. Okay, I need to change decks. This has happened a few times, so forgive me. I've picked up a deck and my guide has said change decks. And talking about artists, if you've tuned into my stream before, you will know that I love Ciro Marcinetti's artwork. And if you're lucky enough to live in California, you live right near that artist's gallery. And you're blessed. Okay. Now, Misery Pimp, I feel like things have improved for you. There's a lessening of fear. There you go. And I feel like there's a greater hope. And I do feel like this has been in the last week. Okay, yeah. I'm picking up you stood up for yourself. And once you did that, things started to move in a positive direction for you. I feel like when you stood up for yourself, you could have even been shaking at the time, as we all do. When we assert ourselves quite strongly, we can sometimes release that anxious emotion. And I feel there's been a release of that anxious emotion. And the last week or so, it's as if time stood still. There you go. Thank you for acknowledging, Misery Pimp. But now it's time to move forward, and I want to say in deep contemplation of what is next. there's a questioning about human interactions. Yeah. I want to say there's also looking at human interactions, looking at physical touch. Now, physical touch doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It can be friends saying, giving you a pat on the back, saying, good work. I feel that is desired and there's deep contemplation around it. Yeah. I feel it is deep contemplation around physical touch. And yeah. But can you understand the physical touch? As in, as I said, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a pat on the back saying, job well done. I do feel like there has been some communication. You know where I'm going with this, Misery Pimp. It's deeper than just family and friends hugging. And there's been contemplation. Yeah, you do have to protect your energy, but there has been contemplation of a hookup. Let's face it, sometimes a hookup can be better than seeking permanency. And I feel the happy energy that's going on now gels well with that. And you know your spirit team. Don't worry, I will give you a shout out. I'm getting there. There. I feel you've been in deep contemplation about the hookup. I don't get that it's like anything extra. I do not get that it's anything extra. Yeah. And I don't know where you are in the world, but here in Australia it seems to be that that's all either gender want, that's all that anyone is willing to admit, no matter how you identify yourself. And there's some liberating experience with that. Yeah, but I would say be honest with what you're seeking. And I feel there will be someone there. I always say be honest with what you're seeking, because people don't go into situations blindly. If people go into situationships with their eyes wide open, then they know what they're there for. And if it's mutually beneficial, and it seems to be the current energy, is to find something that is mutually beneficial. I do see you, once you've made that decision, I do see it happening quickly. So hopefully that resonates for you, Misery Pimp. And remember to keep that energy up. I feel that energy is really good at the moment. And it's almost like a magician style energy, where some manifestations can become reality. You're welcome, Misery Pimp. And I do feel that this energy, if you can continue it, it'll expand your universe. We don't get that much snow here in Australia unless you're actually going to the snow. But 16-hour drive, I can resonate with that. I broke up with someone and just drove. Oops. See, I told you my phone's been going wild. But I broke up with someone and just drove. It's like the weirdest thing I've ever done. But that's what I have for you, Misery Pimp, and thank you for trusting me with your read again. You're welcome. Yeah, you broke up with the city. Well, that explains the 16-hour drive then, through snowstorm. But yeah, I had tears strolling down my cheeks. I think I pulled over once to freshen my face. Thank you. I'm hoping that was ages ago, Misery Pimp. I can't remember most of my reads. If my guides give me the information, it's not in my active memory. And that's a little bit of a... Oh, the last reading you had. Well, that makes sense then. Momo, you are up. Haven't read for you for ages. And I get a really buzzy energy. Oh, thank you. Many blessings to you too, Misery Pimp. And keep up the work that you've been doing. You're glowing from what I felt. I've got to start getting more readings now. Now that I'm footloose and fancy free. Hi, Momo. You're passing the phone to your friend. So is this a reading for your friend? Just a yes or a no. Is this a reading for your friend? If it is, I'll just ask them to give me a name that signifies that it's different. You can pick a name out of random air. Okay, just give me a name so I can focus on it. Like I focus on people's handles here. So just any name. Okay. Lucia. Hopefully I got it right. Hi, Lucia. Now, Lucia, I'm feeling like it's been nightmare energy for you the last 2 weeks. I do feel like you're walking away from something not positive to something positive. Just a yes or a no. It's fine. If it's a no, it's a no. Lisu. Okay, Lisu. Yes, you can understand that. Okay, I'm going to turn over cards and we'll see what comes up. Because I feel like you're walking towards something positive. And good on you for having the courage. I feel like it took courage to do what you did. Yeah, there's the walking away. It took courage to do what you did. Okay. I'm picking up also that you've gained income, Lishu. Sorry. It's my Aussie accent. I've got to be really careful. So, Lishu, I feel like you have gained income, or you're at least saving where before you didn't. Okay? You're now knowing not to hold on to something so tightly, but be aware that you still need to protect yourself against what you've walked away from. Oh, like Alicia. Leisha. There you go. Leisha. Did I get it right that time? But I feel like there's still a need to protect your energy from what you've walked away from. And I feel you already know this and are already taking steps. And steps in a positive way. Well, good on you, Alicia, because I know this took courage. And boy, have you got courage. And I'm feeling like a Virgo energy. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Leisha. I'm feeling like a Virgo energy here has something to do with it. Whether you're Virgo or whether the person that you've walked away from is Virgo. Yeah, I definitely got how much courage it took, and good on you. You're Virgo. You're doing all the right things. Keep doing them. And Leisha, I hope that resonates for you. Keep doing them. You're welcome. And Momo, thank you for introducing me to Leisha. And for trusting me to read for a friend of yours. See, for someone to trust is the hardest thing. I've got so many people that say, oh, but do they love me? It's like, I don't care. As long as I can trust, I'll be there. That's just me. That's just me doing me.